Hello everybody, Matt here on the planet, and today's video is a review of the Silverstone Half Marathon. The final result we got from Silverstone was 1 hour 35 and 58, so I'm really happy with that, and it's a new marathon PR. The course is pretty much flat as we knew, having run it a couple of years ago. It was a very, very flat course, so it was good to run on. It kind of felt like a lot of it you were, even though there obviously was some elevation gain, it kind of felt you were running very, very flat or even downhill a lot of the time, and that might have been due to the kind of the tailwind at some points. But the last couple of kilometres, I thought I'd really pick it up, and I felt like I was really, really pushing. I didn't really look at my watch. I just put the hammer down and just went as fast as I could without whatever energy I had left. And the paces actually weren't as fast as what I thought. So I thought I'd be getting down to really close to 4 minutes per kilometre pace, but they were kind of looking at the paces now. We were at 19th kilometre 4:25, 4:29 for 20 kilometres, 21 kilometres 4:45. So, and I actually kind of picked it up and sprinted over the line, or felt like I was sprinting over the line. So it wasn't as fast as I thought it was in the end. But I was really happy with the performance. I did say I was going to start off at 4:40 pace for the first couple of kilometres, and obviously again starting in the second pen, we're in the kind of like the second fastest group of people there. It was really good, and it started off at actually 4:39 my starting pace, and then 4:32, and then we're into the 4:20s for the next 7 or 8 kilometres. It was 4:25, 4:24, 4:24, 4:22, and it was just there was definitely a wind into your face, but I managed to find a couple of guys that kind of running my pace and probably pushing like a little bit harder than what I wanted to, but they were kind of shielding me from the run, so it worked out really, really well that I could keep with them. But because the 5k, the 10k and the half marathon are all on the same course on this track, what happens is you get so far along the route and then the 5k peels off and then the 10k peels off, and these two guys in front of me, they were setting a really, really strong pace, peeled off at something like about 7 kilometres. So it was really, really good to use them as a bit of a wing breaker. We were running side by side a couple of times, and I had a little chat. We heard on the tannoy that some 11-year-old had run 5k in 18 minutes, which is just fantastic, unbelievable. Congratulations to him for that. Something that I don't know, maybe I'll get to that one point, but I don't think I've got no ambitions to get to that fast. I'd like to break 20 minutes in the 5k one day, but well, this year actually, and I'll probably have a go at that over the next couple of months. But to get to 80 minutes is phenomenal. Yeah, so 1 hour 35 and 58 minutes is a new PR for me, so really happy with that. I don't think at any point during the run I felt like I was overdoing it. I knew I was going a bit, and this definitely wouldn't be marathon pace, but I was just going at the pace that I could start with, keep it going, and I felt like I might, because we had the marathon, the Chester Marathon last weekend, only 7 days ago, I knew my legs weren't fully recovered, but I could just run in a way, run with a rhythm that didn't demand too much from your body, from your legs, and just keep the pace going. I could probably have gone a little bit faster at certain points, definitely at the start, but it was good to just keep going at that pace. Definitely I wouldn't be able to hold that pace for the full marathon. So when I was back at Chester, I was probably running about 10 or 15 minutes per kilometre slower. I had set out at the start of this marathon, at the start of this half marathon, to run 1 hour 35 as the target, but it was a bit of a dream target. If I'd come in with 1 hour 37, that'd been fantastic. So 1 hour 35 and 58 is really, really happy with that result. Couldn't have asked for much more, especially when it's like coming back from 2019. I think it was 1 hour 58 and something, and we managed to take off another we've taken off 22 minutes off that time, so I think that's phenomenal. Obviously we set PRs in the 20k, 1 hour 30 in the 20k. We did run again in the Vaporfly Next Percent, which is the same shoe we ran in when we did the half marathon at the Great North Run, and we're really happy with that result. Considering the Great North Run had a lot more elevation, 200 or 300 metres elevation gain in it, whereas this one we only had probably it's telling me 49 metres elevation gain, so Might have been a bit more than that. I think the last time the watch came up with, it was actually my phone that we did the last run on, not the watch, but that came up in at, I think it was 63, 64 metres or something like that. So it's quite a, quite a flat course. And you kind of feel, it won't be like that because you start at the finish, but it feels overall like you've gone downhill. So I think the uphill sections are quite short. In terms of the kilometres you do on the uphill, and then the downhills tend to kind of like last a little bit longer, just the grade with a slower lighter gradient. So heart rate wise, the average heart rate coming at 164 beats per minute, so that was really quite good. It wasn't as high as it was when we did the Great North Run, but run faster, and that'll be something to do with the elevation gain. But comfortably in the threshold. 83% of the run was done in the threshold zone, so I'm really happy with that. I suppose leading out from this is where do I want to go with the half marathons. Obviously at some point, because I want to run a sub 3 hour marathon, I'm going to have to break into 1 hour 30 for the half marathon, so I'm looking at about another 6 minutes to get that down to 1 hour 30. I'm going to have another go. I'll probably have another go later on this year, because it's one of my goals this year. I think my target this year, I said, was to do 1 hour 30 in the half marathon. So we'll probably having a go at that later on this year at some point. I'm not sure it's going to be at a track. I'm trying to plan see if we can get a November or a December half marathon in somewhere. And we'll see how it goes, see what's available for that, but also it'll depend on the weather as well. We might have a trip over to Europe for a couple of runs as well. There are some runs that I've got on my mind. I do want to do, there's definitely the Formula 1 circuit, the Red Bull Ring, somewhere I've been to watch a Formula 1 race, but I really fancy doing that race as a half marathon, and that's one with the run around the track. So looks really good, but whether it's an event that I want to go to, and try and do a PR, I'm not so sure, because it would probably work out quite a hot place to run. And I think it's kind of late springtime, early summer is when that runs on, so it's guaranteed to be a hot race. Very picturesque, off in the mountains in Austria. Fancy having a go at that one day, but I'm not sure if that's kind of PR territory. Okay, so that's a review race. Thank you very much for watching. We've got a lot of other stuff coming up on the channel. Please like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Go on, lad. Cheers. Well done, mate. Great stuff. Grab your medal. Go.